Welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. Go ahead and lie back, getting settled in a comfortable position on your back. Really feeling the ground beneath you as you center your mind into your breath. Becoming really conscious of your breath, slowing it down, feeling it move through your body, and feeling into the support of the earth beneath your body. Letting the breath flow through you, beginning to really connect with that earth being, the living being from which we all came and will all return. Feeling your connection to the earth. Normally, Andrew and I do this celebration in honor of the full moon, recognition of the abundance in our lives, those spaces that come to completeness in time of the full moon, that we can acknowledge and then release, making space for new. And now we're coming together to honor the new moon. This time when we can really notice what's growing within us, and if it's something that we really want to be growing. So this is a time each month when there's this energy of new, when thought seeds are planted. And we really want to become conscious of the intention and what we're growing, so that we can make sure that we're planting what we really want to grow. It's a time where you can invite in, new projects. Maybe it's something really tangible like that, or maybe it's a new behavior or a new way of believing, a new way of connecting with yourself, or this natural rhythm. Just like new plants reach their roots down into the earth to seek nourishment and strength, tap into the new energy of the Earth Mother, this living body that supports all of us, this foundation that nourishes new life, and nourishes new life, whether that's physical or energetic. It's there for you. And we can energetically root down into the earth and draw energy and nourishment up to support us and to help grow that new thing within us. So today, use this practice to tune into what seeds you're planting. Check in if they're the seeds that you want to be planting. If some of these seeds are habitual, they're stories handed to us even from generations from beyond. So really, as they come to you, checking in with, is this true for me? Is this what I want for myself? And planting seeds with intention, with care. As you begin to identify what you want to grow, and again, keeping in mind that what you want to grow may not be an actual thing. It may not be something that's, physically productive in this world. It might be something deep within you. But as you begin to identify that, begin to draw upon the strength and the energy of the earth, and treat this new growth with great care and attention. Consider the fragility of new life, how much attention and care you give a new start you put, a plant you put in your garden, or when a new baby comes home, like how much care and attention this new life needs, how delicate it is. And yet then as you nourish and as this life grows, it becomes this more sturdy, this stronger being. And that will happen as you provide nourishment to the seed that might even be kind of elusive to you. As you discover it and nourish it, it will grow and it will become what it needs to be in your life. So use your breath to do this, these deep grounding breaths that draw upon the energy of the earth. Breathing deeply right now, feel your roots growing into the earth, growing from your body down into the earth, and imagine these roots tethering themselves into the depths of the earth and then drawing those nutrients up through the earth into your body. Feel that nourishment spread through your body as you breathe in. And then as you exhale, release that nourishment out. So this is the symbolic nature of our relationship to the earth body. We draw energy and nourishment in, and then our exhale is nourishment and energy out, literally nourishing the earth body. So it's the symbiotic relationship of pulling in and receiving and then releasing and giving. And energetically, it's the same. We draw in this energy that supports and nourishes that which grows within us and transforms within us our unique gift that we then are able to release out into the world, to release and let go of our gift that we let go. So we draw the energy in, we gift it back out. So breathe in right now and feel that receiving, and then breathe out and feel that giving. Continue breathing in this way, drawing that energy in, nourishing that newness within you. Maybe you're just beginning to tune into. Draw the nourishment in. Sometimes it's about creating that fertile soil before we really are able to plant the seeds, right? So discovering where you are with that, but draw the nourishment in. It can still come in even if you haven't quite tuned into what you are growing. Then as you exhale, release it, give it back. Release your gift out into the world. Release your breath, your energy out to this earth body. And let it continue in this way. Nourish and grow that newness that is in you. It's in you, ready to become a seed, ready to germinate. Whatever stage you're in, it's there and it is ready to move toward the light, to bloom and to share. So today we'll use this practice to tune into what seeds you're planting right now. As they come to you, check in with if they are the seeds you want to be planting. As you identify what to grow, begin to draw upon the strength and energy of the earth. And treat this new growth that begins to come to you. You know, it might be something that you know that you want to be growing within you right now. You might not be quite sure, but you begin to tune into it as you move today in connection with the earth. And as you begin to tune into that, treat it with great care. Consider the fragility of new life, how much care a delicate new start to a plant that you put in the ground needs, or a baby that's newly born needs. And as this new life takes hold and grows, it becomes stronger and more secure. So as you breathe life into whatever these new seeds are that you're planting, know that they'll become stronger and more secure. Right now, provide them nourishment and care in the deepest of ways. Use your breath to do this. Draw upon the energy that the earth provides you. So breathing in deeply right now, feel your roots. Feel roots within you growing into the earth. Envision them traveling down into the earth from deep within you, beginning to take hold. And then as you breathe in next, draw that earth energy up into your body. Feel it lift and lengthen all through you. And then as you exhale, give that nourishment back. And we do this by transforming the energy we receive from the earth transforming it with our unique gifts that each one of us has that we then send out into the earth, into space. We transform it and give it back. And quite literally, even with our breath, we support the earth body. And this is the symbiotic nature, drawing in the energy and then releasing it and giving back. We breathe in and we receive. We breathe out and we give. So continue with a few more deep breaths and envision that symbiotic flow. You draw the energy and the breath in, nourishing the newness that is within you, that you're beginning to tune into, or maybe that you already have identified. And then as you exhale, give it back. Envision releasing your gift and your breath out to the earth. And let it continue in this way as we move through our practice, nourishing and growing the newness in you that's ready to bloom. Take 3 more deep, full breaths here. And then as you're ready, you can draw your knees into your chest, rolling over to one side and making your way into child's pose. So whether your knees are together and you're sitting back with your arms back along your sides, or you prefer to open your knees wide and extend out, planting your hands on the ground, bringing your forehead to the earth, and just breathing in this space, in this connection with the earth. And balloon open your breath through your back. So feeling your shoulder blades begin to open up as you really spread the breath through all areas of the chest. We'll take 3 or 4 deep breaths here. And see if you can really tune into the energy, again, of the earth, of that support beneath you, drawing it in. Another deep 2 full breaths. And then beginning to walk yourself back up through to center, coming into a seated position, crossing your left leg over right for spinal twist. You can extend that right leg out from underneath you straight if that feels better for you. Otherwise, wrapping it in. And then we'll bring our hands down onto the pelvis and press into the hands so you can feel this lengthening up through the torso, reaching through the crown of the head. And then keeping your chin in line with the center of the chest, begin to move to the left. So turning the torso, but keeping those roots down through the sit bones, really strong connection with the foundation. And then once you've spun as much as you can without using any grip anywhere, then wrap your right arm around your leg or across your elbow over. But keep that twist coming through the torso rather than through the neck. And we'll take 3, 4 deep breaths here. Again, feeling that connection into the ground and lengthening up, feeling that energy reach out through the crown of the head. As you inhale, you lengthen, and then as you exhale, soften around that length. Maybe sighing out the mouth, stretching the jaw. Let the shoulders soften down the back. Keep drawing that length up through the crown of the head. And your next inhale, coming back to center and coming into knee pile. Bringing your heels in alongside the pelvis as your knees stack up. Again, you can straighten that bottom leg if that's better for you. Arms open up wide, and then crossing the right arm over the left to come into eagle arms. You can also hold both shoulders or finding both palms connected. Either place, extend out through the elbows, lift up through the hands, and then slide the shoulder blades down the back. So feel that connection with your sit bones, both sit bones rooted down. Draw the energy up through your torso, through the crown of the head, and extend out through the elbows. Find these points of extension and then soften around them as you exhale. On your next exhale, releasing the arms, bringing hands to either side, and we'll move through a little cat-cow. We'll be moving through this motion throughout the class. So we'll inhale, pull the chest through, and exhale, round through the back. Let the chin tuck into the chest. Push all the breath out and feel a gentle pulling of the belly. And then as you inhale, pull the chest through, shoulder blades squeeze together. Exhale, round through the back. Pull the belly in. One more. Inhale, pull the chest through. Exhale, round through the back. Pull the belly in. And then walk the hands out. Let the back of the neck release. And take just a couple deep breaths here. Whatever degree of forward fold feels good for you, and where you're still connected through the sit bones, letting go through the back of the neck, maintaining that connection to the earth, and then releasing forward. One more deep breath. And then inhale, rolling yourself up through to center. Switching sides, crossing your right leg over your left, preparing for that spinal twist, straightening out your left leg if that's better for you. And then bringing your hands onto your pelvis. Press down into the hands so you can feel yourself grow tall. Envision, again, that energy drawing up through your spine. And then as you exhale, moving to your right, coming into the twist as much as you can naturally without any points of leverage. And then once you feel like you've reached your place, then you can bring your hand around the shin or maybe your elbow over that right thigh. Keep your chin in line with the center of the chest. Stay tuned in to the lengthening up through the spine as you breathe in, and then as you exhale, coming a little bit deeper into that twist, letting the shoulders soften down the back. Maybe stretching your jaw as you exhale, inviting in that release with each breath, that release that gives back. And then inhale, drawing in. Exhale, letting it go. On your next inhale, coming back to center, stacking your knees up. And then opening up the arms, crossing your left arm over your right, coming into holding both shoulders or eagle arms. Extend out through the elbows, lift hands up toward the ceiling. And then let the shoulder blades soften down the back. So you're lengthening up through the crown of the head, reaching out and up through the elbows and hands. And then let that energy again soften around this space that you're creating. Notice where you can let go in these areas of opening and extension. Breathe that energy in. Transform it into your gift with your breath, and then let it go. Beginning to find that rhythm. On your next exhale, releasing your arms. And again, moving through a few of that cat-cow movement. You'll inhale, pull the chest through, shoulder blades squeeze together. Stay rooted through the sit bones. And as you exhale, round through the back, pull the belly in. Inhale, pulling chest through, squeezing shoulder blades together. Exhale, rounding through the back, pulling the belly in. Inhale, pulling through. Exhale, round. Push the breath out, pull the belly in. And then coming through, take a deep inhale. And as you exhale, walking the hands out, coming into that forward fold. And taking a couple deep breaths here. Again, maintaining that strong connection, your sit bones to the ground, and then lengthening away from that. So you're rooting down and then growing away from that rooted foundation. One more deep, full breath. On your next inhale, rolling up through to center. And then let's come forward onto hands and knees. And moving through a little bit of a flowing cat-cow. So we'll inhale, pull the chest through, squeezing shoulder blades. And then as you exhale, curling the back, pulling the belly in, sitting back onto your heels. As you come through, bend your elbows, squeezing them in toward each other. Pull the chest through, inhaling, and then exhale, round through the back, pull the belly in, sitting back into child's pose. Let's move through this 2 or 3 times, feeling free to do it with your own breath count. So you can pause somewhere if it feels like it's something that your body needs in that moment. As you come through, make sure you're squeezing your elbows in, protecting your shoulders. As you reach the hips back, feel for pulling the belly in, adding a little bit more of that lift through the back. And then next time you come forward, coming to just hands and knees, neutral position, tuck the toes under, and press back into down dog. Maybe pedaling out through the heels, feeling for wrapping shoulder blades in toward your chest. Maybe there's a slight bend in the elbows. Take a deep inhale, and then on your exhale, walking your feet up to your hands, bending the knees, taking a hold of either elbow, and then just swinging from side to side, letting go through the back of the neck. And then bend the knees deeply, release the hands, bring the hands onto the ground. It might be the fingertips, it might be the hands. You can bend your knees as much as you need to. Close the eyes and take one deep inhale, pulling that energy up through you. Exhale, open the jaw, stretch it out as you exhale through the mouth. And then bend the knees, inhale, standing up, drawing that energy up with your hands. And then exhale, pushing it out toward the ceiling, interlacing your fingers, and step all the way to the left side of your mat. Take another deep inhale, reaching up toward the ceiling. Fingers are interlaced, reaching out through the index fingers. On your exhale, release into a crescent position over to the left. Inhale, reaching up. And as you exhale, over to the right. Inhale, reaching up. And then as you exhale, stepping open into goddess pose. Sinking down, letting your feet angle open to the corners of the mats. And then we'll scoop the hands down. Inhale, reach down, draw the earth energy up, and then push it out. Doing that again. Inhale, sink down through the pose. Inhale, draw the energy up. Exhale, push it out in front of you. One more time. Inhale, draw that energy up from the earth. Transform it with the breath and release it with your hands. Straightening up through the legs, we'll turn to the left side of the mat and come down into a lunge position. So you're bringing that right knee down. And then coming up onto that knee. If you need some padding, if you're on a hardwood floor, make sure you roll the edge of your mat over or bring a blanket under the knee. So instead of sinking all the way down here in lunge, pulling back a little bit so you feel that strong the rooted connection through the left hip, and maybe opening up here through the right quadricep or right hip a little bit. Extend your hands straight down, and then we'll inhale, sink a little bit forward, pull the chest open, and then as you exhale, reach straight down and feel that gentle curling of the pubic bone toward the belly button. Chest comes in like a mini cat, and you'll feel that lengthening through the right quadricep. And we'll do that a few times. Inhale, extend forward, chest opens, hands reach back. Exhale, drawing in mini lengthened cat. Inhale, pull through. Exhale, round, reaching down through the fingertips. One more time. Inhale, open the chest up. Exhale, reaching down. And then planting your right hand, you can leave that right knee down or lifting the right knee up and then twisting open. Reaching up through your left hand. Sinking down, taking a deep breath or two here. And then on your next exhale, bringing that left hand down, walking your hands to center, heel-toeing the feet in so that you can come down into Malasana. Here's where you may want the option of stacking a blanket or a rolled towel under your heels. And then coming into Malasana, taking a deep, full breath here. And then for this, you can either keep your hands in prayer or open them up, but we're moving into a little bit of that cat-cow action here. So you're pressing into your legs, pulling chest through, deep inhale. Exhale, reach forward, round through the back. Inhale, pull through. Exhale, round and reach forward, maybe feeling for that pulling in of the belly. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, round, push the breath out, pull the belly in. And then plant your hands on the ground, pressing up to standing, bend the knees, scoop that earth energy up. Exhale, pressing it up. And then let the hands come down, spinning your right toes to point toward the right edge of the mat. And then bringing your hands down to come into lunge on the other side. So left knee comes down, and then you bring your torso back up. Again, pad that knee as needed. And then pulling back into a little bit more of an upright position with that lunge. So you're a little bit more engaged in the hips than sinking all the way down into them. Hands reach down toward the ground. Inhale, pull the chest open, sinking forward. Exhale, round through the back, scooping pubic bone toward belly button. Inhale, chest pulls through. Exhale, round, rounding through the back, pulling pubic bone toward belly button. Inhale, open up. Exhale, round. Lift through the back, lift through the belly. One more time, inhale, pull through. Exhale, round, and lift through the belly. Notice how that lengthens through that left thigh. And then bringing your left hand down, knee stays down or lifts up, twisting open. Reaching out through the right fingertips, sinking pelvis down. Take a couple deep breaths here. On your next exhale, bringing your hands down, coming back into that goddess position with the legs. Draw the energy up and then push it out toward the ceiling. Standing up, bringing yourself all the way over to the right side of the mat. Interlace the fingers, index finger out. And as you exhale, releasing over to the right. Inhale, extending straight up. Exhale to the left. Inhale, reaching up. As you exhale, open into that goddess position. Take a deep breath in here. And as you exhale, spinning to the right and stepping that left foot open to the side so you have a little bit more space for your pelvis to sit in the center. You can square the pelvis toward the end of the mat. Sink down into that right knee and then lengthen through the lower back. Bringing the arms either into reverse prayer or holding either forearm. And then feel here for that, keeping that lengthening through the lower back. As you lift through the chest, feeling that energy drop through the legs, through the crown of the head, and then you soften around that length. Drawing it in, and then softening and releasing. So if we draw that energy in and hold it, we then diminish our part of that symbiotic relationship. So draw it in fully, let it transform you, release it fully. Releasing the reverse prayer or holding either forearm. Take a hold of your hips, lift up through your right quadricep, keep it engaged there. So you, again, squaring the pelvis toward the edge of the mat, and then begin to hinge forward into this pyramid pose. Maybe you're keeping a little bend to that right knee, or at least the right quadricep turned on. And you can either stay here hinged forward, or you might release hands to the ground, coming into that deeper forward fold. Taking a couple deep breaths here. And then bending into that left knee, heel toeing or sliding that right foot forward, and then sinking hips back, straightening out through the right leg, and coming into a forward fold over that leg. Soften in, melt into the pose, let the breath do the work of sinking into that subtlety, letting it begin to melt the sharp corners of the pose. 2 more deep breaths. So you breathe, notice if you can let go through the back of the neck, maybe soften through the jaw. And then bending back into that right knee, walking the hands toward the center, sitting down again into that yogic squat, into Malasana. Bringing hands to the heart. And then we'll take a deep inhale, and on your exhale, press into the right leg. Maybe you're just coming into this gentle twist with your hands together, or maybe you want to bring your left hand to the inside of that left thigh and push open a little bit to deepen the twist. Feeling into what's right for you, but take a couple deep breaths here where you land. Coming back to center, returning to that prayer position, and then pressing into your left inner thigh with your left upper arm as you begin to twist the torso. And maybe this is where you stay, or you bring that right hand to the inner right thigh. Deepen that twist for a couple deep, full breaths. Coming back to center, bring your hands to the ground, begin to lift up through the sit bones, point toes toward the front, bend the knees deeply, and then draw that energy up. And then exhale, push it out as you step your left foot toward the edge of the mat. Spin your right toes in, finding that warrior one position with your legs, squaring the pelvis toward the edge of the mat. And then coming into that same position with your hands, either holding either forearm or finding reverse prayer. Sinking in, and then feel that lengthening of your lower back. Notice the tendency here to stick out through the sit bones. Instead, drawing them in, down toward the floor, so that your chest can lift and open with that support. Notice if you're tensing your jaw, your face. Invite softening in those spaces. And then on your next exhale, releasing, straightening up through the left leg, bringing your hands to your hips. Again, lifting up through that quadricep. Maybe you even have a gentle bend if you're feeling like there's any hyperextension there. And then begin to shift forward, keeping your left hip coming back, right hip coming forward. And you are either just staying hinged here, or maybe you're releasing hands down to the ground, letting go through the back of the neck. Breathing deeply. And then sliding back through that right knee, setting it down on the ground. Maybe walking that left foot forward a bit so you can lengthen through the left leg. And then forward fold over that leg, letting go through the back of the neck. Stay tuned into the breath, to the drawing up of the energy through your hands. Notice how that energy moves through you before you let it go. Another deep, full breath. And then sinking into that left knee again, walking your hands towards center, coming into goddess position with your legs, and then drawing the energy up with your hands, and then exhale, push it out from side to side. Bringing your hands down onto your thighs, thumbs in front, fingers wrap around behind. Sinking down, letting your shoulders come up alongside your ears, arms as straight as you can get them. Take a deep inhale, and as you exhale, bringing the left shoulder over toward the right knee. Take 3 deep breaths into this opening through the left side, through the hips. Let yourself just sit in this spaciousness. On your next inhale, come back to center. On your exhale, right shoulder comes over to left knee. And then inhale, come back to center. Standing up, drawing that energy up. And exhale, hands reach toward the ceiling as you step together to the left side of the mat. Take another deep inhale, reaching straight up. As you exhale, release to the left. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, release to the right. Inhale, reaching straight up. Exhale, hands come to the heart. Inhale, sweeping arms up, interlacing fingers. Exhaling to the left. Inhale, reach up. Exhale to the right. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, opening up into that goddess position. Deep inhale here. And as you exhale, spin your left toes toward the edge of the mat, coming into warrior two. Chin is in line with the center of your chest as you square your torso over your hips, sinking down into that left knee, and then shifting your torso away from it. On your next exhale, reaching out through the left fingertips, setting your forearm down on your thigh, and reaching the right arm up and over the ear, planting through the outer edge of your right foot as you extend out through those right fingertips in the opposite direction. On your next exhale, spinning onto your right toes, bringing your hands down on the ground. You can keep this back knee up or down, but we're moving into a similar rolling movement like we did in cat-cow. So you'll inhale, shift forward, pull through with the chest, and as you exhale, round the back, push the breath out, pull the belly in, sinking back with the hips and back foot. And then bend into the knees, inhale, pull the chest through. Exhale, round through the back, push the breath out, pull the belly in, releasing down through the heels. One more time, inhale, pull the chest through. Exhale, round through the back, pull the belly in, extending back. Sinking down into your left knee one more time. And then planting that right knee on the ground. And we'll sit the hips back. Bringing that right foot in toward your groin, the left leg stays opened up. And then we're twisting the torso toward your extended left leg, planting a hand on either side of the leg, and then letting yourself come into a twisted forward fold here. So your hands might stay just planted into the earth on either side. You might take a hold of your foot if that's available to you. Drawing yourself down, lengthening out, feeling that twist come through your right side especially. Stay planted through the sit bones as you're lengthening out. And take 3 deep, full breaths here. Draw the energy in and let the breath move into that transformational place in your body, in your energy. And then release it, pouring it out. Another deep 2 breaths. And then inhaling, coming back up. And we're going to walk ourselves around into that Malasana position. One more time. Bringing the hands to the heart and coming into that same twist, but maybe deepening it if that's available for you. Taking a deep inhale, and as you exhale, press into the left inner thigh with the left arm, bringing that hand down. And you might be pressing into that inner right thigh, or opening up through that right arm, letting it fall open behind you for a chest opener, using the leverage of your left arm against your inner left thigh, or wrapping that right arm behind and creating a lock behind your back. Left arm is in front of the left shin. Finding the place that works for you today in this moment, inviting yourself there, and then taking a few deep breaths. One more deep, full breath. And then go ahead and release. Coming back to center, moving into the other side. Pressing your right upper arm into the right leg as you open the left arm toward the inner left thigh. Coming into that twist, maybe you stay here. Or you open that left arm up, letting it open up behind you, opening up through the chest. Or perhaps you find that interlock behind the back. Moving into the place that's available for you. today in this moment. And breathe deeply. And then go ahead and coming back to center. Press down into the hands, pointing toes toward pointing the toes forward. Bend the knees deeply and inhale, draw that energy up. And as you exhale, pressing open into your warrior two, sinking into that right knee. And then stay sinking into that as you pull the torso up and over the hips. And then extending out through the right hand, planting that right forearm on the thigh. Make sure that you're really lengthening that shoulder away, like down the back, away from the ear. And then bring the left arm up and over. So you're pressing your torso away from the legs so that you can really pull that shoulder blade down the back. Keep sinking into that right knee, planting into the outer edge of your left foot. Another deep, full breath. And as you exhale, turning to face, bring your hands to either side of the right foot. Again, that left knee can stay up or down, but moving into that rolling cat-cow here. So you'll inhale, pull chest through. As you exhale, round through the back, sink hips and heels down and back. Inhale, pulling chest through. Exhale, round through the back, push the breath out, pull the belly in. And then inhale, moving chest through. Exhale, seek out that space as the breath is pushed out, belly pulls in. And then inhale, pulling that chest through. And then sinking that left knee down, sitting back with the left heel in toward the groin, right leg opens. Take a deep inhale, lengthening up through the torso. As you exhale, spinning toward the right leg. Hand comes to either side of that right leg. And then walking yourself out to whatever degree feels good to you. Maybe you're taking hold of that foot. Maybe you're keeping your hands on the ground. What's important here is that you stay connected with your sit bones into the earth. So a lot of times they'll want to come up with us, trying to come forward with us. Keep them rooted down and then lengthen and grow away from that foundation. It's only with that rooted foundation that we can extend, we can grow fully into the space for us. Feel for letting go through the back of the neck, softening through the jaw. Let's take 3 deep breaths here. Your next inhale, rolling up through to center, extending both legs out in front of you, and feeling, again, those roots down from the sit bone, and then feel yourself lengthen up, bringing your hands to your thighs, pressing down, and let that aid in that extension, that growth, lengthening up through the crown of the head. And then as you exhale, just hinge at the hip flexors. Maybe walking the hands forward. And then walking forward, keep extending through the crown of the head, through the chest. Finding that place where you're just greeting your edge like you would a family member at the door. Just with kindness. Then let yourself melt into the pose as you breathe. Layer by layer, discovering it with your breath. letting each breath be a moment of transformation. Two more deep breaths. Then on your next inhale, rolling up through the center and come all the way down onto your back. We'll cross the thighs, the right thigh over the left. And then so your knees are again in that knee pile position. Take a hold of your shins, somewhere along the shin, maybe down toward the ankle if you can. And then begin to pull your ankles away from each other as you draw your knees in toward your chest. Breathing deeply. Switching sides, crossing left ankle over right, bringing hands on the shins or down by ankle, and then draw your ankles away from one another, knees come in toward the chest. Keep drawing sit bones, lengthening back down toward the ground as your knees come in toward your chest. Finding that space in between, that lengthening in both directions. Rooting down, growing tall, growing long. One cannot happen without the other. And then releasing the legs and coming into happy baby. Taking a hold of the inside arches of your feet and then drawing your knees down toward your armpits. Again, as the lower back comes down toward the ground. Soles of the feet face the ceiling. You can also take a hold of your ankles if your feet aren't accessible. Breathing here, and seeking both those directions. Knees coming toward the armpits, toward the ground, that lower back lengthening toward the ground as well. Big, deep, nourishing breaths. And then drawing that right knee into your chest, extend the left leg out in front of you. Take a deep inhale, pulling the knee in. And then as you exhale, bringing that knee across the body, you may want to shift your hips over to the right a bit. And then let that knee come all the way down. So even if it means you have to roll up off of the right side of the body, drawing that knee down to meet some point of contact, whether it be the floor or a pillow, and then begin to open up away from that point of contact. If it's uncomfortable for your shoulder, bringing your right hand into your rib cage. Otherwise, opening away from that foundational contact of the knee to the ground. And then we'll breathe deeply here for a number of deep breaths. Giving yourself space to open into this twist. Feeling your body against the earth. Just envisioning your breath drawing up and in. Twisting through you and then releasing out. Drawing in through that spiral energy, this motion. Exhale, releasing out. 3 more deep, full breaths. On your next inhale, bringing that knee back into the chest, drawing both knees into your chest. And then on your exhale, keep the left knee hugged in as you extend out through the right. Deep inhale pulls that left knee in. As you exhale, releasing it across the body, maybe shifting your hips to the left and then bringing that left knee down into contact with the ground or a pillow. And then let your left arm open up to the side. That left hand may come in, staying in contact with the left rib cage. But you have a number of deep breaths here. So give yourself that space to keep allowing the pose to evolve. Three more deep, full breaths. And then drawing that knee back into your chest, drawing the right knee up as well. Take a deep inhale and squeeze your knees in. And then as you exhale, extending your legs out in front of you, extend your arms onto the ground above you. And then on your next exhale, walking your hands and your legs over to the right, creating that crescent moon shape. Maybe crossing your left ankle over your right thigh or your right ankle. And then breathe into this shape. Feel the opening. Feeling that new moon energy, inviting it in. Breathing and nourishing that connection you have to the new seeds within you. And then go ahead and release, walking to the other side. Maybe crossing your right ankle over your left. Finding that crescent moon shape on the other side and breathing into it. This cycle that we get to be a part of helps remind us to renew, to grow, to let go, and then do it all over again, keeping us from being stagnant. Staying in touch with that cycle, the rhythms of nature. One more deep, full breath. And then when you're ready, walking yourself back to center and making your way into Shavasana. So know that Andrew will be playing the bowls for a bit. If you need to, cover yourself with a blanket or bring a pillow under your head, finding a very comfortable place so that you can really just rest into the sound of the bowls, into this space of surrender. And then feel the earth beneath your body. And feel a sense of pressing your body into the earth. Pressing your legs, your torso, your arms, your head, pressing down in and really feeling, sensing into that support. And then let yourself soften, inviting the energy, surrendering to this space. Beginning to take deep, full breaths. Feel your breath move through you. Beginning to find movement through your fingers and your toes. Maybe beginning to find some movement there. Beginning to breathe deeply. Drawing those deep, nourishing breaths into your being, through your body. Beginning to find movement through your fingers and your toes. And as you're ready, drawing your knees in toward your chest and rolling to one side. And with a relaxed neck, pressing yourself up into a comfortable seated position, using your hand against your head to lift your head to center, letting your neck stay relaxed. And keeping the eyes closed and staying in this meditative space. Remain in connection with the earth, that's energy, drawing it in, releasing it out. I'd like to finish by reading this passage by Mark Nepo. Embedded in the seed is the blossom. Embedded in the womb is the child fully grown. Embedded in the impulse to care is the peace of love realized. Embedded in the edge of risk and fear is the authenticity that makes life worth living. Wrapped within young leaves is the sound of water that will nourish them once they have opened. It's already there, prompting them to unfold and grow. To believe that this is possible requires a faith in currents larger than any one mind can envision. But that is not such a difficult thing to accept. For as dust owes its path to wind, we, as human beings, are asked to acknowledge that something larger encircles us and prompts us to unfold. There is a gravity of spirit that pulls the essence of who we are into being. Our job, like all our sister creatures, is to find the abundance of air and water and light, and to unfold what is already within us. Drawing your hands into your heart, feeling that unique gift within you, sensing into the light that shines brightly within you, nourishing it, allowing it to transform and grow and release. The light and the divine within me bows to the light and the divine within each of you. Namaste.